Hey there! Welcome to the channel. Before we start, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. That way, you'll always stay up to date and keep learning with us.
Chapter 1: The Arrival. My name is Leo, and I'm from Peru. I moved to this new city to learn English. It's my first time here, and I feel both excited and nervous. The flight was long, but when the plane landed, a rush of energy went through me. The city is big, loud, and full of life. It's so different from my hometown, but I like it already. At the airport, I heard people speaking English everywhere. I understood some words, but many sounded new and fast. I tried to listen carefully, but it was a little confusing. I told myself, this is why I'm here, to learn. I took a deep breath and followed the signs to the taxi stand. The driver was friendly. He asked me where I wanted to go, and I showed him the address on my phone. "Welcome to the city," he said with a smile. His kind words made me feel less nervous. The drive to my apartment was exciting. I saw tall buildings, colorful lights, and so many people on the streets. Everything was new and interesting. I couldn't stop looking out the window. When we arrived, I thanked the driver and carried my suitcase inside. The building was small but cozy, and my new home was on the third floor. I opened the door and saw my roommate, Noah, waiting for me. He was smiling. "Hi, you must be Leo. Welcome." Noah is from Japan, and he's also here to learn English. We talked for a while, mixing English with a few words from our own languages. It felt good to know I wasn't alone. Noah showed me around the apartment and helped me settle in. "We're going to have a great time here," he said. I smiled and nodded. The next morning, I woke up early for my first day at the language school. I felt a little nervous, but also excited. Noah wished me luck before I left. The school was a short walk from my apartment. On the way, I saw many people rushing to work, buying coffee, and talking on their phones. The streets were busy, and there was so much to see. I noticed a small bookstore and thought, I should visit it someday. When I reached the school, the receptionist welcomed me and gave me my schedule. She spoke slowly and clearly, which helped me understand. I went to my classroom and found a seat near the window. Soon, other students started arriving. They all looked friendly but a little nervous, like me. Our teacher, Miss Jones, walked in with a big smile. "Good morning, everyone. My name is Miss Jones, and I'll be your teacher. Let's get to know each other," she said. She asked each of us to stand up and introduce ourselves. When it was my turn, I felt shy, but I stood up and said, "Hi, my name is Leo. I'm from Peru, and I'm here to learn English." Miss Jones smiled and said, "Welcome, Leo. We're happy to have you." I met students from many different countries. Ben from the UK, Hannah from South Korea, and Diego from Mexico. We all wanted to learn English, and it felt good to be part of a group. Miss Jones asked us to talk about why we wanted to learn English. I said, "I want to travel and talk to people from different countries." Hannah said she wanted a better job, and Ben said he loved English movies and wanted to understand them without subtitles. After class, I walked home feeling happy. The first day was better than I expected. Noah and I cooked dinner together that evening. We practiced English while we cooked. "Pass me the salt, please," he said. "Here you go," I replied. We laughed and talked about our day. It was a simple but fun moment. As I lay in bed that night, I thought about my first day. I knew I had a lot to learn, but I also knew I was in the right place. This city, this school, and these new experiences were the beginning of my journey. I felt excited to see what tomorrow would bring. Chapter 2: Making New Friends. The second day started with a bright morning. I woke up early, eager to go back to school. Noah was already up, sipping his coffee and reading a book. "Good morning, Leo," he said. "Ready for day 2? I nodded, smiling. I grabbed a quick breakfast and headed out the door. The walk to school felt familiar now, and I noticed new things. A street musician playing the guitar, a woman selling flowers, and children laughing on their way to school. When I arrived at the classroom, I saw some of my classmates chatting. Ben waved at me and said, "Hi, Leo, how are you?" I smiled and replied, "I'm good, thank you. How are you?" It felt nice to speak English, even if the sentences were simple. Miss Jones walked in and greeted everyone. "Good morning. Today we'll focus on conversations. Let's learn how to talk about ourselves and ask questions," she said. Miss Jones paired us up for an activity. I was paired with Diego. "Hi, Leo," he said. "Nice to meet you again." "Nice to meet you too," I replied. Miss Jones gave us a list of questions to practice, like, "Where are you from?" and "What do you like to do?" Diego and I took turns asking and answering. I learned that he loved basketball and wanted to visit Peru someday. I told him about my favorite Peruvian dishes, and he said he wanted to try them all. After the activity, Miss Jones asked us to share what we learned about our partners. "Diego loves basketball and wants to visit Peru," I said. Everyone laughed when Diego added, "And eat all the ceviche." The class felt warm and friendly, and I started to feel more comfortable speaking English. During the break, Hannah came over and said, "Hi, Leo. Do you want to join us?" She was sitting with a group of classmates, and I happily joined them. We talked about our home countries and first impressions of the city. Hannah shared stories about South Korea's beautiful mountains, and Roy, another classmate, told us about Japan's cherry blossoms. It was amazing to hear about different cultures while practicing English. In the afternoon, we had a group activity. Miss Jones gave us the topic, "Your favorite memory." Each group had to discuss and share their memories. Our group included Ben, Hannah, and Diego. I shared a story about visiting Machu Picchu with my family and hiking through the ancient ruins. Ben talked about a hiking trip in the Scottish Highlands. Hannah described a big family gathering, and Diego told us about his first basketball game. We laughed, listened, and learned not just English, but also about each other. After class, Hannah and I decided to grab coffee at a nearby cafe. The place was cozy, with soft music playing in the background. We ordered in English, and the barista smiled, understanding us easily. "This city is so different from home," Hannah said. "But I like it. Everyone is so kind." "I agree," I said, sharing how I love the energy of the city and how much I'm learning. As we sipped our coffee, we talked about our goals. Hannah wanted to work in international business, and I shared my dream of becoming a travel photographer. "That's amazing," she said. "You'll get to see the world and share your stories." Her encouragement made me feel confident. That evening, Noah and I decided to explore the neighborhood. We found a small park with a playground and a fountain. Children were playing, and some adults were jogging or walking their dogs. It was peaceful, and we sat on a bench, talking about our day. Noah told me about his classmates and how he practiced speaking with them. "It's not easy," he said, "but every day I feel a little better." Before heading home, we stopped by a bookstore we had noticed earlier. The smell of old books and coffee filled the air. We bought a few books for a beginner's reading group and chatted with the cashier, who was kind and patient with our English. It was another small but meaningful moment. At home, I reflected on the day. I had made new friends, learned more English, and experienced the joy of connecting with people. The city was starting to feel less strange and more familiar. I was no longer just a visitor. I was beginning to feel like I belonged. With a smile, I drifted off to sleep, ready for whatever tomorrow would bring. Chapter 3: Exploring the City. The weekend arrived, and I was excited to explore the city. Noah and I had made plans to visit some famous spots and experience more of what this bustling place had to offer. The morning was crisp and sunny as we set out. Where should we go first? Noah asked. I pulled out a small map and pointed to the main square. Let's start here, I said. We can explore from there. The square was alive with activity. Street performers played music, vendors sold colorful souvenirs, and tourists gathered to take pictures. A man was playing the violin near a fountain, and his music filled the air. This is beautiful, Noah said. I nodded, mesmerized by the sound. We took a few pictures and then decided to visit a nearby market. The market was bustling with energy, with stalls selling fruits, vegetables, clothes, and handmade crafts. Noah stopped at a stall selling scarves. He picked up a bright red one and asked, "How much is this?" The vendor smiled and said, "It's $10. Noah handed him the money, and he wrapped the scarf for him. "This will remind me of today," he said with a grin. As we wandered through the market, we practiced speaking English with the vendors. I bought a small notebook to jot down my thoughts and memories. "Do you write often?" the vendor asked. "Yes, I love to write," I replied. It felt good to have a short conversation and use the language I was learning. After the market, we decided to grab lunch at a small cafe nearby. The menu was in English, and we took our time reading it. "What will you have?" Noah asked. "Maybe a sandwich and some tea," I said. We placed our orders and enjoyed the cozy atmosphere. The food was delicious, and we continued practicing English while discussing our plans for the rest of the day. In the afternoon, we visited a park Noah had read about. It was large and filled with people enjoying the sunny weather. Kids playing, couples walking hand in hand, and families having picnics. We found a quiet spot under a tree and sat down. "This is nice," Noah said. "It feels peaceful here." We practiced describing what we saw in English. "The children are playing with a ball," I said. "The trees are tall and green," Noah added. It was a simple exercise, but it helped us notice our surroundings and use new words. We also talked about our favorite parks back home. Noah described one near his house in Tokyo, and I talked about a park I loved in Lima. Later, we visited the bookstore. It was quiet and smelled of books and coffee. I was drawn to the section for English learners. "Look at this," I said, picking up a book with simple stories for beginners. This could help us practice. Noah found a book of English idioms and laughed as he flipped through it. "Some of these are so funny," he said. We each bought a book and promised to share what we learned. On the way back, we talked about how much we'd already improved. "I feel like I can understand more," Noah said. "Me too," I agreed. "And it's nice to practice in real-life situations." In the evening, we decided to cook dinner together. We had bought fresh vegetables and pasta at the market. As we cooked, we continued practicing English. "Can you pass me the salt?" Noah asked. "Here it is," I replied. We laughed when we made mistakes, helping each other find the right words. After dinner, we sat down with our new books. Noah read out some idioms, and we tried to guess their meanings. "Break the ice," he said. "It means to start a conversation," I guessed. Exactly, he smiled. It was a fun way to learn, and we ended the day feeling accomplished. As I got ready for bed, I reflected on everything we had done, exploring the city, practicing English, and making memories. It felt like I was truly living in the moment. I couldn't wait for what tomorrow would bring. Chapter 4: Joining a New Club. A few days later, Noah told me about an English-speaking club he had heard about. It's a group that meets every week to practice English, he said excitedly. We should join. It could help us improve and make new friends. I hesitated for a moment, but then I agreed. The idea of practicing English in a group was both exciting and a little nerve-wracking. The club met on Saturday afternoons at a local community center. When we arrived, the room was already filled with people chatting in English. Some were beginners like us, while others spoke fluently. A friendly woman named Maria greeted us. "Welcome. Is this your first time here?" she asked. "Yes," I replied. "We're new to the city and looking to practice English." "You're in the right place." Maria smiled. "We're glad to have you here." The session began with a warm-up game where we introduced ourselves and shared an interesting fact. When it was my turn, I said, "Hello, I'm Leo from Peru, and I love writing stories." Noah said he enjoyed cooking and exploring new places. The group clapped after each introduction, which made us feel welcome. In the discussion groups, we were given the topic, "What is your favorite place in your home country and why?" I spoke about a small market near my hometown, describing its fresh fruits and the warm, friendly people. Noah talked about a famous temple in Japan and how it symbolized his country's history. It was fascinating to learn about different places, and everyone was supportive, even when we made mistakes. Later, Maria asked for volunteers to share what their groups had discussed. Noah volunteered, and I was impressed by his courage. He spoke confidently, summarizing our group's discussion. I clapped along with the others, feeling proud of him. Next, we played a game called Two Truths and a Lie. Each person shared 3 statements, and the others had to guess which one was the lie. When it was my turn, I said, "I visited 5 countries. I've never eaten sushi, and I can play the guitar." The group guessed that I couldn't play the guitar, and we all laughed. During the break, we mingled with other members. Ahmed from Egypt shared tips for learning English. "I listen to podcasts every day," he said. "They help me understand different accents and learn new words." Sarah from Canada encouraged us to watch movies in English without subtitles. "It's hard at first, but it gets easier," she reassured us. After the break, we had a role-playing activity. Noah and I pretended to shop in a store. "Excuse me, how much is this shirt?" I asked, playing the customer. "It's $20, Noah," the shop assistant replied. "Would you like to try it on?" We stumbled a bit, but managed to finish the dialogue. The group clapped and gave us helpful feedback. As the session ended, Maria encouraged us to come back next week. "Practice makes perfect," she said. "The more you speak, the more confident you'll become." Noah and I agreed to return. We thanked Maria and said goodbye to the friends we had made. On the way home, we talked about how much we had learned. "It's so nice to meet people who are also learning English," Noah said. "It makes me feel less alone." "I agree," I said. "It's fun to practice in a group. I feel more confident already." That evening, I wrote in my journal about our experience. Joining the club had been a big step, and I was proud of us for taking it. For the first time, I felt that speaking English wasn't just a goal, but an exciting journey filled with opportunities and new friendships. Chapter 5: Exploring the City. The following weekend, Noah and I decided to explore more of the city. We wanted to practice our English by interacting with people in real-life situations. Noah suggested we visit downtown, known for its markets, cafes, and cultural attractions. We started at a bustling street market, where the air was filled with the aroma of freshly baked bread, roasted coffee, and street food. Each stall offered something unique: handmade jewelry, colorful scarves, books, and fresh produce. Noah and I decided to try speaking English with the vendors. At one stall, I saw a beautiful journal with a leather cover. "Excuse me, how much is this journal?" I asked. The man smiled and replied, "It's $10. Would you like to buy it?" "Yes, please," I said. "It's perfect for writing my stories." I felt a small boost of confidence from the interaction. Noah stopped at a fruit stand, where the vendor was selling ripe strawberries. "How much are these?" he asked. "They're $3 per box," the woman replied. "I'll take 2 boxes, please," Noah said. Afterward, we walked to a nearby cafe for lunch. It was cozy with wooden tables and large windows. We looked at the menu and practiced reading the dishes out loud. When the waiter came, I said, "I'll have the chicken sandwich and a cup of tea, please." Noah ordered a salad and an iced coffee. While waiting for our food, we talked about our favorite dishes from home. Noah described Japanese ramen, a dish made with noodles, pork, and a savory broth. I told him about Peruvian lomo saltado, a flavorful dish with beef and potatoes. Sharing our cultures was another way to practice English. After lunch, we visited a nearby museum. At the entrance, we spoke to the receptionist to buy tickets. 2 tickets, please," I said. The receptionist handed us the tickets and a brochure saying, "Enjoy your visit warmly." Inside the museum, we explored different galleries filled with artifacts, paintings, and photographs that told stories of the city's past. We read the descriptions in English, taking our time to understand them. One exhibit featured old photographs. "Look at this one," Noah said, pointing to a black and white photo of a bustling market from decades ago. "It's amazing to see how things have changed." We also joined a guided tour conducted in English. The guide spoke clearly, and we tried to follow along as she explained each exhibit's significance. At the end of the tour, Noah asked a question about one of the paintings, and the guide answered in detail. I was impressed by Noah's confidence. As the day went on, we realized how much we were learning just by exploring the city. Every interaction, whether at the market, cafe, or museum, was an opportunity to practice English. We felt proud of stepping out of our comfort zones. On our way home, we stopped at a bookstore. Noah wanted to buy a book in English to improve his reading skills. After browsing, he chose a beginner's novel, and I picked up a book of short stories. The cashier complimented our choices, saying, "These are great books for learning English." That evening, we reflected on the day. "I feel like we learned a lot today," Noah said. "Not just English, but also about the city and its culture." I agreed, thinking about how much we gained from simple conversations and experiences. Before bed, I wrote in my new journal. Our day had been more than just fun. It was a valuable lesson in language and confidence. I looked forward to more adventures and opportunities to grow, both as a language learner and as a person. Chapter 6: A New Beginning. The following week, Noah and I began to feel more at home in the city. Each day brought new chances to practice English and grow more confident. We set goals to stay motivated. Noah's goal was to improve his pronunciation, while mine was to expand my vocabulary. Our language school was bustling with activities. Ms. Carter announced a class project where we'd create a presentation about our home countries. Noah and I teamed up with Adam from Germany and Priya from India. We spent the week preparing, gathering pictures, and practicing our speeches. One afternoon, we met at the library to finalize our project. Noah showed a picture of Mount Fuji. "This is Mount Fuji, one of the most famous symbols of Japan," he said. Adam shared a photo of a Berlin landmark. "This is the Brandenburg Gate. It's a symbol of peace and unity," he said. Priya described the colorful festivals in India. "This is Holi, the festival of colors. It's a time for joy and celebration," she said. When it was my turn, I talked about Peru's famous beaches. "This is the Costa Verde," I said, showing a picture of golden sand and clear blue water. "It's a place where people relax and enjoy the sun." As we practiced, we helped each other with pronunciation and grammar. It was a fun, educational experience. On the day of the presentation, I felt nervous but prepared. Our group went last. As I stood in front of the class, I took a deep breath and began. Peru is known for its beautiful mountains, delicious food, and vibrant culture. The words flowed more easily than I expected, and I felt proud of my progress. Our classmates clapped, and Ms. Carter praised our teamwork. That evening, Noah and I celebrated by cooking dinner together. Peruvian lomo saltado and Japanese ramen. As we ate, we reflected on how much we'd learned. "We've grown so much, not just in English, but as individuals," Noah said. "I agree," I said. "It's amazing how much we've accomplished in such a short time." The next day, Ms. Carter gave us a new challenge, a class debate. Our team picked the topic, "Why learning English is important." We brainstormed and practiced. "English connects people from all over the world," I said during our practice. "It opens doors to education, jobs, and travel," Noah added. "It's not just a language, it's a way to understand and appreciate different cultures." The debate was lively, and we learned a lot from one another. When it was over, Ms. Carter said, "You all did a wonderful job. Debates like these help you think critically and express your ideas clearly." Outside of class, Noah and I continued exploring the city. We visited a community center for English learners and joined a storytelling session. Participants shared personal stories in English, and when it was my turn, I talked about my journey from Peru to the city and how it had changed my life. The audience smiled and clapped, and I felt accomplished. As weeks passed, Noah and I became more confident in our English skills. We joined a book club, attended workshops, and even volunteered at local events. Each activity brought new challenges and rewards. I noticed how much more natural English felt. I could express myself without overthinking and understood conversations more easily. One day, Ms. Carter pulled me aside. "You've made incredible progress, Leo," she said. "Your hard work and dedication are paying off." Her words filled me with pride and motivation. That evening, Noah and I reflected on our journey. "Do you remember how nervous we were on our first day here?" Noah asked, laughing. "Now we're presenting in class, making new friends, and exploring the city like locals." I smiled. "It's been an amazing journey, and it's just the beginning. There's still so much to learn and experience." Before bed, I wrote in my journal about everything I had achieved. Learning English had been challenging, but it was one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. I thought about all the people who had helped me along the way, my teachers, classmates, and new friends. They had made the journey not just educational, but joyful. As I closed my journal, I felt grateful for the opportunities I'd been given. My time in the city had transformed me, not just as a language learner, but as a person. I was ready for more challenges and adventures. The future was full of possibilities.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and share this with someone who would love it too. And don't miss the next video I've prepared for you. Insert next video title. See you there.